What's up everyone, it's Click. We're going to be talking about Vivi today. Now as you all know already, Vivi's got his LD and he is absolutely busted. However, a lot of people are wondering, how do I party him up and who should go with Vivi in a team? Who would work well with him? Now let's just go over the basics of Vivi. He's got fantastic Brave Overflow. He imperils fire, he has Last Stand, and with his LD he does insane amounts of damage. But the biggest drawback to Vivi is that he costs a lot of HP to use, especially when he pops his LD. That's 40% damage dealt to your entire party. Now because of that one mechanic of him dealing damage not just to the enemies but also to the party, and it's percentage based, a lot of people question whether or not to pull for him at all. But you can always pair him up with healers. Now the greatest thing about Dissidia Opera Omnia is that it's all about party compositions and how you play as a team. It's not always about soloing content, guys. So what I've done in this video is I've picked out the greatest characters that would go with Vivi. Now first off we have Ignis. Now the reason why Ignis is a top tier pick to go with Vivi is because he has healing, he has HP regen, he has Brave Battery so that Vivi can actually make use of his tremendous Brave Overflow, and also later on he's going to get an LD Sagefire, which is also fire elemental. It also enchants and also increases elemental weakness damage. Next up we have Maria. Now the reason why Maria is so good is because she has Brave Battery on almost everything that she does, and Vivi loves Brave Battery because he has tremendous Brave Overflow but not many Brave hits. And so if you can battery him, he can hit his maximum damage, and also she has healing on her C65 and also on her skill 2. Third on the list we have Kimari, the Ronso. Now the reason why Kimari is so good, he's got defensive buffs, Brave Battery again, and also if you have his LD, super amount of healing. Speaking of buffs and healing, never forget about Penelo. Penelo will get an LD later on. She has insane amount of buffs for the party, Brave Battery, HP regen, and HP healing. So running along the themes of Brave Battery, HP regen, and HP healing, we have Paladin Cecil, who will also be getting an LD and BT later on as well. And last but not least, we have Lena. Lena with HP healing, HP regen, Brave Battery, and also she has debuff immunity as well. So just to recap, what makes top tier support for Vivi? He needs Brave Battery, HP regen, and HP healing. As long as they have these three things, they are a great pick for Vivi. Now if you don't have someone that does all three, you can bring two people, maybe one that does HP regen and maybe one that has burst healing. Now those are just my top picks. There are other notable mentions, other people that have healing, HP regen, and Brave Battery that would really go well with Vivi as well. First up is Rinoa. Rinoa would be a top tier pick, but she's actually not that easy to use. So if you're a beginner and you're not really versed with how Rinoa works, she has two modes, which can be confusing for some to use, but she is definitely a top tier pick. The only reason why she's in the notable mentions and not in the top tier pick itself is because she's not that easy to use. But if you know how to use Rinoa and you have her LD, she is an amazing character to go with Vivi. Next up we have FF9's Beatrix. Now the reason why she's in notable mention rather than in top tier pick is because her healing is only on her C65. She does have very strong HP regen with a long duration from her skill 1, and the reason why she's a very strong notable pick for Vivi is because she also has her mechanic where the party takes 0 HP damage. So if you're low on HP and the enemy's about to do some big HP attack, Beatrix can save you there, but it's a lot of skill management and timing involved. The next notable mention is Aphmau. If you take Aphmau to 3-3, she does have healing in her kit, she has very strong Brave Battery, and she will go very well with Vivi. The next notable mention is a very strong support who does a lot of damage himself. It's Alpha Nord. Alpha Nord has Brave Battery and healing in his kit, but you may end up burning a lot of skills to trying to keep the party alive. Very similar to Alphinaud is Arciella. Arciella usually has very good longevity as well. However, by pairing her up with Vivi, you may end up burning a lot of her skills to try and keep the party alive by healing through her skill 1 and also her EX. Next up we have Garnet and Warrior of Light, both of which have great Brave Battery and also healing on their EXs. However, you may need to time their EXs just after Vivi pops his LD. Speaking of healers, who can forget Ishtola and Porum, both of which are very strong healers. However, you may be burning a lot of their skills to try and get the EXs up. However, do not discount the fact that Ishtola will be getting her LD and BT, and Porum is just a generally really strong defensive unit that will keep your party alive. Now my last notable mentions will be Desh and Charlotta. Charlotta with her Gravity and her EX will help shave off enemies, and also HP regen and Brave Battery. Desh with his damage mitigation and also HP regen are invaluable assets and party members for Vivi. Now there are a lot of characters that I haven't mentioned who has healing in their kit. Last Stand, such as Freya. There are plenty of characters that can help Vivi along, and so his whole mechanic of doing damage to the party isn't even a reason to not pull for him, because it sets off summon abilities such as Odin's attack, you have Leviathan's Brave regen, and also Diablos with the increase in Brave as well. Every character has strengths and weaknesses, and this is what makes Dissidia Opera Omnia such a fun game to play, because you have to figure out how to actually put a team together, what works well together, what doesn't, and just mission mash. Basically, Vivi is a very strong fire magic damage dealer. I think it will be a shame to pass him up. I think he's very strong. I think he's been fixed, and it's just so cool to have a global first. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If there's anything I can do better, leave a comment below, and enjoy the game, guys.